Everyone, my name is Leo, and this is week 9 of me building my first AI agent project called Schedule AI. And so, what is Schedule AI? Well, it's basically a schedule that is entirely managed using an AI agent, and it's specifically made for students. And so, you know how students they have a lot of things going on in their mind, and sometimes they have a hard time to actually create good schedule, and it takes a lot of time. So maybe they have exams, they have assignment, they need to study for like their next test. Also, they have a job or they have sports. All of these things to put inside of a schedule can be really hard sometimes, and that's pretty much the goal to solve there with Schedule AI. And so last week I showed you guys that I implemented a new type of memory called plan memory, and that plan memory is basically to like you know how you have all of these different classes, and the goal at the end is that with each of these classes to create all of your study sessions, to put all of your exams, assignments, like really fast. And so the plan memory basically is just a way to store all of the information related to a specific class during a certain period of time. And after that, you can create all of those events based on that plan. And so last week, I told you guys that this week I was going to be trying to work on a new feature where you can actually drop your old curriculum, such as like your next exams, assignment, all of your topics you're going to be going through for math, for example. And yeah, so that what was I was supposed to do this week, but I didn't actually have time to do it, and so I still did some things, and I'm gonna show you guys what I've managed to do. But yeah, nothing too crazy this week. Hopefully next week we're gonna be better. But yeah, let me show you guys. So here you have your your main page, where you have your calendar and you have your conversation right there with your AI. And so first off, what I've added was basically a plan menu where you have every plan that you have created. And so my goal here is actually like I want the user to have access to those plans, not only like to create multiple events, but for them to like go back and maybe like well I could show you here, like we have a specific plan detail. So this is for math 101. um, so right now it's pretty much empty and you can't even see it. I'm gonna make it bigger right there. But as you can see, I have um, some basic subtitles such as title, description, start date, end date, and eventually what I want to have is like really a way for the user to go back into their plan menu, to go to a specific plan and see, well, okay, for my math class, here is all of the topics I'm going to be going through. Uh, Maybe this topic is going to be from week 1 to week 3, um, and also how hard is it going to be, and maybe all of the exams and assignment could be also displayed there. So really a way to like sort of like a dashboard for a class or like a specific thing, because this could also be like for your soccer, and maybe you could have all of your next match or tournaments and everything your coach wants you to work on. Yeah, and so that's what I focused on this week, because I wanted to do this before actually doing the part where you could only drop your curriculum, because I would want the curriculum dropping feature to be inside of the plan detail and to actually have a way to add more files. So maybe you could add your class notes to your plan details, and that would get saved inside of the plan memory. And I think it would be a really cool way to have all of those informations, to have like way more context for the LLM, or well, the agent to understand. And also, a thing that I would love to do is, like last week I showed you that when we created plan, the AI started asking question to fill those slots. So title, description, start date, end date. So it would just ask question. Also in description, it could ask like way more specific question related to the topic. And so I would actually want it to, like, at the same time it's asking question and I'm answering those questions, to gradually uh, fill in, like at the same time in the plain details, all of that information, maybe in like a typing way, so that the user can see what the AI is actually doing at the same time. And it would also be a way like for me, or well, the agent, to have confirmation, because if the user see what the agent actually write and what understand, and it does, like if the user say, well, it's perfect, well, it would just like stay that way and everything would be good. But if something is not right, well, you just click edit and modify that information for it to be as the user wants. And yeah, and so regarding also the like all those plan windows are made, and how we edit them and it gets updated to the database, it's basically the same thing as for the events window updating. So let me show you guys right there, right there. So remember, like, could actually like just like that change the task name right there. Now it's called S. You could call it Hello, and so it's the same thing, but now instead of being the event table inside of the database, well, now it's the table called plan memory, and it's different um, information we're updating. And yeah, maybe I could show you guys like the code behind it. It would also give you guys a little bit of a refresh. So this first file I'm going to be showing you guys is um, the first menu, where just right there, where you have all of your plans right there. So this is basically it's basically what I'm doing right there is I'm using a use effect, so that whenever the plan list gets updated, or um, like if something is not working, uh, this is just a way like for me to be able to update the class if I add another plan, and not having to refresh the page every time. And the part where, so basically what I've highlighted right there is where we get all the plan. It's the same thing as for the events basically. So we use endpoint, a get endpoint, where it's linked to the database, the backend, sorry, and uh, that backend endpoint called plans. Well, it called a function called get all of plans, I think. Yeah, right there, get all plans, and then it just returns every plan inside of the plan memory. And so this is how we display a list of all the plans. And after that, for the plan creation right there, is the same thing pretty much as for the event menu. So Here we have another endpoint where now instead of getting those plans, uh, we give information to the database. So we put information, basically the information that we change if we edit inside of the window. And yeah, so that's pretty much what I did this week. It's not a lot of work. I was kind of busy, but next week I'm gonna be coming up with way more stuff to show you to guys. And like, first off, the curriculum part, I'm gonna be finishing that, and maybe I could try to also add like to add the writing feature where whenever you're like chatting with the AI about creating a plan, the information gets written at the same time in the plan window. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this week, guys, and have a good day.